We're in Miami with Melissa Maccarelli Slawsky. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's so nice to see you.
You too.
What brings you to Miami? I know you just moved, right? So.
I just moved 3 months ago to pursue a DMA in piano and chamber music at University of Miami. So I was 1 year into a PhD and I'm still going to finish that, but I knew that I had to pursue both.
I neglected to mention, you were in Tampa because you joined us several years ago at Private Lessons, and you had a private studio in Tampa. So this is a recent thing for you.
So
okay.
I'm just now taking off. I went from 1 student to 10 students.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So what was really fascinating to me about your background, you're an accomplished pianist, but you also played violin, right?
Yes, I had the best opportunity in 9th grade. My parents moved from Hawaii to Orlando, and I heard the high school had an orchestra, and on a whim I just went up to the teacher and poured my heart out and said, look, I play piano, but I know that I need to play violin. And she said, play something for me on the piano. And she said, okay, go rent an instrument and I'll teach you. And she taught me every day after school, and within a month I was the last chair of the second violin section.
Nice.
And by my senior, I loved it so much. She was the most amazing. Anne Perrette, she was so inspiring in the aesthetic moments that I felt as an orchestra player. By my senior year, I was second chair of the first section. I mean, I played all through college, and it was like my lover. Violin was my lover away from the piano.
That's great. That's great. You know, we briefly talked about, sometimes practicing piano can be a lonely job. And I recall when I was a kid, the most exciting moment was when somebody paired me up to play 4 hands. And so I wanted to explore, with your background, how do you approach something like this in your private studio?
I completely agree. My favorite times at the piano are when I'm playing with other people. And one thing I love the beginners. Children are the greatest love that I love to teach. So I use the Piano Adventure series, and they have these awesome little duets for just about every piece. So they get to experience playing. I accompany them, but I try not to compensate too much so they get the feeling of the pulling back and forth. So they get that from the very beginning. It's like a reward. And I make sure to program 4-hand music on all of my recitals that they come to. My master's recital, I had some Slavonic dances on there. And Christmas is an awesome time. I have some arrangements of the Nutcracker Suite. And
these are for various levels, right?
Various levels. From beginner, intermediate to advanced. And that's always, even from the very beginners, I'll play their left hand, they play the right hand. It's always a collaborative effort. I even have a wheeled chair so I can just slide right back and forth, because it is a lonely thing. Even though I started late and I wasn't the most disciplined person, I would always record one part and play the other part with Bach, record the concerto part and play along, use music -1 and whatever's available.
Sure. You do so many things. You mentioned you're working on 2 doctorates, and you're teaching. Do you ever sleep?
I do,
Okay.
And one of my bad habits is I have so many interests. It's hard not to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. And when I moved to Miami, it was funny. I was thinking of all these ideas for my dissertation, and I developed an injury after 3 weeks, and I feel, in a strange way, I feel like this injury has taught me something and maybe given me an area to focus on, because I was thinking of all these ideas with music and exercise and motivation, and how music can motivate you to do things that you might not want to, like run for 10 miles. So I feel like I can apply what I was thinking of to the piano to undo my bad habits, and so I feel like it's going to give me a focus and rein me in.
That's great. Well, you are certainly You have many wonderful things that you're doing, and
Thank
I
you
wish
so
a
much.
lot of success.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for visiting today.
Thank you so much.